We are taught that to gain respect, we must raise our voice. But what if the opposite were true? What if the most commanding presence in any room belongs to the person who says the least? Ancient wisdom reveals a forgotten truth. Power is not projected through noise, but radiated through stillness. Command respect. Say nothing. Stoic presence, inner calm, compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. The power of silent strength. Imagine a lion, the undisputed king of its domain, resting under an acacia tree. Its power is absolute, its presence undeniable. Yet, it is completely silent. It does not need to roar to affirm its status. Its calm, steady gaze and profound stillness are more potent than any sound. The very air around it is charged with its silent strength. This is the nature of power that needs no announcement. The inner conflict we face is a deep-seated anxiety that our own silence will be mistaken for weakness, ignorance, or a lack of confidence. In a meeting, in a negotiation, in a simple conversation, we feel a frantic compulsion to fill every pause with chatter, fearing that our silence will render us invisible. The fundamental problem with this compulsion is that constant, nervous talking is a broadcast of insecurity. It signals to the world that you are not comfortable in your own skin, that you are not at ease with your own thoughts, and that you require the noise of your own voice to feel present. This devalues your words. When you speak constantly, your words become like background noise, easily ignored and quickly forgotten. You give away your power by showing you are so unsettled by a moment of quiet contemplation that you must rush to destroy it. The Stoics understood that silence is the space required for wisdom to operate. It is in the pause that we can truly observe, listen, and examine our own impressions before we assent to them. A person who talks constantly is a person who is constantly assenting to half-formed thoughts and faulty impressions, revealing a mind that is not in control. The transformative solution is to consciously embrace silence, not as an absence, but as a presence. It is the practice of wielding your silence as a tool of observation, contemplation, and immense power. The core idea is that in a world saturated with noise, deliberate silence is a radical act of strength. It communicates that you are in command of your own impulses, that you are thoughtful, and that you do not feel the need to prove your worth through verbal performance. Your silence creates a vacuum that draws the attention and respect of others. They lean in, wondering what you are thinking, and they place more weight on your words when you finally choose to speak. You shift from being a nervous broadcaster to a calm, powerful observer. You can begin to cultivate this silent strength with clear, actionable practices. The first is to implement the 3-breath rule in any important conversation or meeting. Before you speak, make it your discipline to take 3 slow, unhurried breaths. This not only calms your nervous system, but creates a deliberate pause that makes whatever you say next seem more considered and impactful. The second practice is to master active listening. When someone else is speaking, make your sole objective to understand their point of view so completely that you could argue it for them. This means you are not formulating your own rebuttal while they are talking. You are simply, silently receiving information. This level of focused, silent attention is a rare and powerful gift that instantly commands respect. The benefits of cultivating silent strength will fundamentally alter your social and professional dynamics. You will find that people begin to treat you with a new level of deference and seriousness. You will gain a reputation for being wise and thoughtful, a person whose words are worth waiting for. You will feel a profound sense of inner calm and control, liberated from the anxious need to perform. You will become more perceptive, as your silence will allow you to truly see and hear what is happening around you. Your practice exercise is to enter one specific meeting or conversation this week with the conscious goal of being the person who speaks the least. Use the time to observe, to listen, and to truly understand. Feel the power shift that occurs when you are no longer a source of noise, but a center of quiet strength. This silent strength is the foundation for a powerful physical presence, one that can command a room before you've even been introduced. In our next lesson, we will explore this embodied presence. If you are ready to discover the power in your silence, please like this video. Lesson 2. Presence that commands the room. Picture the center of a massive spinning potter's wheel. The clay flies, the wheel spins at incredible speed, but the center point, the axis, is perfectly still. It is this unmoving center that allows the entire beautiful, symmetrical creation to take shape. Without that still center, the result would be a chaotic, shapeless mess. Your physical presence is this axis. The inner conflict we face is that when we enter a room, especially a high-stakes one, we feel our energy scatter. Our mind is in a dozen places at once. Our eyes dart around, we fidget nervously, and we check our phones. We lack a still center. Conversely, we might try to overcompensate with a loud, artificially high-energy performance to get noticed, which is just another form of scattered energy. The problem with a scattered presence is that it communicates a scattered mind. If you are not in command of your own attention and your own physical space, you cannot possibly command the attention of others. Your nervous fidgeting, your hurried movements, and your distracted gaze all send a powerful, non-verbal signal to everyone in the room. I am not in control. I am not fully present. I am not a stable anchor. This undermines your influence before you even begin to speak. People are instinctively drawn to centered, grounded energy and are repelled by nervous, chaotic energy. A lack of presence makes you seem junior, untrustworthy, and incapable of handling pressure. The transformative solution is to cultivate a grounded, centered, and fully embodied presence. It is the practice of becoming the still axis of the spinning wheel. The core Stoic idea is that your presence is the physical manifestation of your mental state. The Stoic practice of prosa, or mindful attention on the present moment, is the key. When your mind is not lost in anxieties about the future or regrets about the past, but is fully here, now, in your body, your physical presence naturally becomes powerful and settled. Commanding a room is not an outward action. It is the external result of an internal state of being fully present. You can begin to build this commanding presence with tangible, physical exercises. The first is the rooting technique. Before you walk into an important room or meeting, stand still for a moment. Close your eyes. Feel the soles of your feet on the floor and imagine powerful roots growing from them, digging deep into the earth, anchoring you firmly to the ground. Feel your unshakable connection to the earth beneath you. Carry that feeling of rootedness with you as you walk in. The second practice is to slow down your movements. Walk with a deliberate, unhurried pace. When you sit down, do so with intention, not by collapsing into the chair. When you reach for a glass of water, do it slowly and smoothly. This economy and deliberateness of movement signals immense self-control and presence. The benefits of cultivating this presence are extraordinary. You will immediately be perceived as more confident, more senior, and more authoritative. You will feel more calm and in control, as your focus will be grounded in your body, not lost in anxious thoughts. People will unconsciously quiet themselves and give you their full attention, drawn to your centered energy. You will find that you can influence the entire mood of a room simply by being the calmest, most present person in it. Your practice is this. For the next 24 hours, make it your goal to move 25% slower than you normally do. Walk, sit, and speak with a new level of deliberateness. Notice how this changes both how you feel and how others respond to you. A powerful presence is often first noticed through the eyes. In our next lesson, we will explore how calm eyes can project loud authority. To continue this journey of building an unshakable presence, please subscribe to the Stoic Power channel. Lesson 3. Calm eyes, loud authority. Imagine a magnificent lighthouse standing tall against a dark, stormy sea. Its power lies in its single, focused beam of light. This beam does not flit around nervously. It does not dim in fear of the waves. It cuts through the chaos with a calm, steady, and unwavering authority, guiding ships safely to harbor. Your gaze is this beam of light. The inner conflict we experience is that our eyes, the very windows to our soul, often betray our inner storms. In moments of pressure, our eyes can become shifty and evasive, signaling fear. When we are angry, they can become hard and judgmental, signaling aggression. They become reactive mirrors of our fleeting emotions rather than powerful projectors of our inner strength. The fundamental problem is that people trust what they see in your eyes far more than what they hear from your mouth. You can speak words of confidence, but if your eyes are darting around the room, you will be perceived as insecure. You can say you are open to feedback, but if your eyes narrow with defensiveness when you receive it, your words become meaningless. A shifty or emotional gaze signals a lack of control and completely undermines any authority you might try to project verbally. It tells the world that your rational mind is not on the throne, that your emotions are in charge. This nonverbal signal is so powerful that it can negate even the most well-reasoned argument. The transformative solution is to train your gaze to be a direct reflection of your inner calm and your rational mind. It is the practice of turning your eyes into the steady, authoritative beam of the lighthouse. The core Stoic idea here is that the eyes are the window to the hegemonikon, the ruling faculty of the mind. A calm, steady gaze is the outward sign that your reason is in command, that you are observing the world objectively, and that you are not being tossed about by emotional waves. This kind of gaze doesn't need to be intimidating or aggressive. Its authority comes from its profound stillness and its unwavering focus. You can begin to cultivate this gaze of quiet authority with two specific practices. The first is the practice of soft focus. When you are listening to someone, instead of a hard, predatory stare, soften your gaze. Look at them with a sense of relaxed, receptive attention. Imagine you are trying to take in their entire presence, not just scrutinize their words. This communicates confidence and openness simultaneously. The second practice is to look at challenging situations and people with a sense of curiosity rather than fear or judgment. When faced with a difficult person, instead of letting your eyes show annoyance, consciously adopt a look of fascination. Ask yourself, what makes this person behave this way? This intellectual curiosity short-circuits the emotional reaction and keeps your gaze calm and authoritative. The benefits of mastering your gaze are immense. You will be perceived as a person of great authority and self-possession. People will feel a sense of trust and security in your presence, knowing that you are seeing things clearly and calmly. In negotiations or conflicts, your steady gaze will be a powerful tool, communicating that you are unshakable and cannot be intimidated. You will feel more in control, as you will be consciously choosing what your eyes communicate, rather than letting them be a passive reflection of your inner turmoil. Your practice for this lesson is to have a conversation with someone you find slightly intimidating. Make it your sole focus to maintain a soft, steady, and curious gaze while they speak. Observe how it changes the dynamic. This calm gaze is part of a larger pattern of physical stillness that signals leadership. In our next lesson, we will explore how stillness itself becomes a powerful leadership signal. Let us know in the comments how you practice maintaining a calm presence. Lesson 4. Stillness as a leadership signal. Picture a seasoned general on a hilltop, observing the chaos of a raging battle below. The sounds are deafening, the movements are frantic, the stakes are life and death. Yet, the general is an island of perfect stillness. He is not fidgeting, he is not pacing nervously. He is observing, thinking, conserving his energy. His stillness is not passivity. It is a profound expression of strategic control. His calm is a weapon. The inner conflict we face is a product of the modern world's obsession with busyness. We believe that a leader must be in constant motion, talking, emailing, rushing from meeting to meeting to appear effective and important. We mistake this frantic activity for productivity. The problem with this cult of busyness is that it is often just reactive, nervous energy disguised as work. A leader who is always rushing, always talking, and always busy creates an atmosphere of anxiety and chaos around them. They signal to their team that things are not under control. This frantic energy prevents deep, strategic thinking. It is impossible to see the entire battlefield when you are caught up in every minor skirmish. This performative busyness, far from signaling leadership, actually signals a lack of strategic oversight and a mind that is reacting to the immediate rather than commanding the important. The transformative solution is to embrace physical stillness as a powerful, non-verbal signal of leadership, confidence, and strategic thought. It is the practice of becoming the still general on the hilltop. The core Stoic idea here is the conservation of energy and the power of deliberation. A wise leader knows that energy, like time, is a finite and precious resource. It should not be wasted on performative action or nervous fidgeting. It should be conserved for the moments of decision and action that truly matter. Your physical stillness communicates to the world that you are not reacting to the chaos, but are observing it from a position of higher control. It shows that you are thinking, not just panicking. You can begin to incorporate this powerful leadership signal into your daily life with simple, conscious actions. First, in meetings, practice planting yourself. Place your hands calmly on the table or rest them in your lap. Plant your feet firmly on the floor. Resist the urge to tap your pen, shake your leg, or fidget. Be an anchor of stillness in the room. Second, when you are asked a difficult question, instead of rushing to answer, physically lean back slightly, pause, and hold eye contact. This small, still gesture is incredibly powerful. It signals that you are not intimidated by the question and that you are taking the time to give a considered, authoritative response. Third, eliminate hurried movements from your day. Walk with purpose, but without rushing. Your unhurried pace signals that you are in control of your time and your priorities. The benefits of using stillness as a leadership tool are profound. You will immediately be perceived as more thoughtful, strategic, and in control. You will reduce your own stress levels and the anxiety of those around you. You will find that you have more mental space for deep thinking because you are not wasting energy on nervous physical habits. People will interrupt you less and will wait for you to speak, as your stillness will command the space. You will become a calming, stabilizing force in any group you are a part of. Your practice is to identify your primary fidgeting habit. For the next 3 days, your sole mission is to be consciously aware of it and to replace it with deliberate stillness whenever it arises. This stillness is not an empty pose. It must be supported by a deep inner balance. In our next lesson, we will explore how the respect you command is born from this internal equilibrium. If you are ready to lead from a place of calm, subscribe to the Stoic Power channel. Lesson 5. Respect born from inner balance. Imagine a perfectly balanced scale, holding two heavy, important weights in a state of perfect equilibrium. It is not leaning too far in one direction or the other. Its state of balance gives it an air of integrity, fairness, and truth. This is a metaphor for the inner state of a respected individual. The inner conflict we face is a tendency to live a life of extremes. We swing between working to the point of burnout and collapsing into laziness. In our relationships, we might oscillate between being overly permissive and suddenly becoming harsh and demanding. We are all in on a new diet, and then we binge. This lack of inner balance makes us unreliable, first to ourselves and then to others. The problem with living in a state of imbalance is that it makes you unpredictable and untrustworthy. People don't know who they're going to get from one day to the next. The energetic optimist or the cynical burnout, the lenient friend or the judgmental critic. This inconsistency erodes trust and therefore respect. It signals that you are not governed by a stable set of principles, but are instead at the mercy of your shifting moods, energy levels, and impulses. How can others respect you as a stable leader or partner when you cannot create stability within your own life? This inner imbalance is a sign of a will that has not yet been disciplined. The transformative solution is to consciously cultivate a life of inner balance, modeled on the 4 cardinal Stoic virtues. Think of these virtues as 4 advisors who, when consulted together, always lead to a balanced and respectable path. They are wisdom, your ability to see the world clearly and make rational decisions. Courage, your ability to face fear and do what is right. Justice, your commitment to fairness and integrity in your dealings with others. And temperance, your power of self-control and discipline. Stoicism is not about being an unfeeling, hyper-disciplined rock. It is about the harmonious interplay of these 4 qualities. It is knowing when to have the courage to act, but having the wisdom to know if the action is right. It is wanting to be just and fair to others, but having the temperance to do so with a calm and controlled mind. This inner harmony is what radiates outward as a respectable, balanced presence. You can begin to cultivate this inner balance with a powerful mental model. Before making any significant decision, practice the virtue check-in. Ask yourself these 4 questions. What would wisdom demand in this situation? What would courage demand? What would justice demand? What would temperance demand? Often the virtues will pull you in slightly different directions. Courage might say, confront them, while temperance says, do so with a calm and controlled tone. By consulting all 4 advisors, you will find the wise, balanced path forward instead of just reacting from a single emotional impulse. Second, practice moderation in all things. Deliberately choose the middle path. Don't overwork, but don't be lazy. Don't overindulge, but don't completely deprive yourself. Seek the balanced center. The benefits of cultivating inner balance are the benefits of a well-lived, respectable life. You will become more consistent, more reliable, and more trustworthy. The respect you receive from others will grow because they will see you as a person of sound judgment and stable character. You will be free from the exhausting swings between extremes, finding a more peaceful and sustainable way of living. Your decisions will improve dramatically as they will be the product of a holistic, virtuous consideration, not a singular, unbalanced impulse. Your practice for this lesson is to take one decision you are currently facing. Deliberately put it through the virtue check-in. Write down the counsel of each of the 4 virtues and see how it clarifies the balanced path forward. When you achieve this inner balance, you will discover a profound truth about influence. Words often lose, but energy always wins. In our next lesson, we will explore this dynamic. Like this video if you are striving for a more balanced life. Lesson 6. Words lose, energy wins. Imagine 2 rooms side by side. In the first room, 2 people are engaged in a loud, heated argument. They are armed with facts, logic, and passionate rhetoric. They are using all their verbal power to try to win the other over. The air is thick with tension and resistance. Now, imagine the second room. In it, a single person sits in quiet, focused contemplation, radiating an aura of profound calm, confidence, and goodwill. If you had to enter one of these rooms and be influenced, which would you choose? The answer is obvious. The inner conflict we have is our deep-seated reliance on words, arguments, and logic as our primary tools of influence. We believe that if we just have the right data and the perfect argument, we can win any debate. The problem with this belief is that it ignores a fundamental law of human interaction. In any emotional or tense situation, people do not respond to the content of your words. They respond to the energy behind your words. You can have the most logical, well-reasoned argument in the world, but if you deliver it with an energy of anxiety, anger, or neediness, that energy is all the other person will hear. Your anxious energy will make them anxious. Your angry energy will make them defensive. Your needy energy will make them want to pull away. Your words, no matter how brilliant, will be completely negated by the nonverbal message you are broadcasting. This is why so many arguments go nowhere. We are fighting a battle of logic, while the war is actually being won or lost on the level of pure energy. The transformative solution is to shift your focus from preparing your words to mastering your internal state. It is the understanding that your energy, the calm, confident, and balanced state of your soul, is your single most powerful tool of influence. The core Stoic idea is that a Stoic's first and most important job is to bring order to their own inner world. A well-ordered soul, one that is free from the turmoil of irrational passions, naturally projects a coherent, stable, and powerful energy. When you enter a conversation from this state, your words become exponentially more potent. Better yet, you often find that fewer words are needed because your calm and confident energy does most of the work for you. You can begin to master your energy with these 2 essential practices. The first is the state rehearsal. Before you enter any important conversation or meeting, do not just rehearse what you will say. Spend 5 minutes rehearsing the state you want to be in. Close your eyes and actively cultivate the feeling of calm, confidence, and goodwill. Imagine what it feels like in your body. Breathe into that feeling until it becomes your dominant state. The second practice is the energy check-in. During a conversation, periodically bring a small part of your attention inward. Ask, what is my current energy state? Am I calm? Am I anxious? Am I open? Simply noticing your state without judgment is often enough to allow you to consciously shift it back to a place of calm center. The benefits of this practice are like discovering a secret superpower. You will become far more persuasive and influential, often while speaking less. You will de-escalate conflicts before they even begin. People will open up to you and trust you more because they feel safe and secure in your energetic presence. You will be free from the frustration of having your logical points ignored because you will be communicating on a much deeper, more effective level. Your presence will become a force for calm and clarity. Your practice for this lesson is to try this state rehearsal. Before your next important interaction, spend just 3 minutes cultivating your desired state before you begin. Notice the difference. When you consistently master your energy, you reach the final stage of this journey. You no longer have to act with power. You simply embody it. In our final lesson, we will explore what it means to embody quiet and radiate power. Lesson 7. Embody quiet, radiate power. Imagine the immense silent gravitational field of a planet like Jupiter. It does not need to make a sound. It does not need to announce its power. Its very being, its immense mass and density, creates a powerful force that holds dozens of moons in a stable, predictable orbit. It rules its domain not through action, but through its very nature. This is the final stage of Stoic mastery. The inner conflict we face throughout this journey is seeing these lessons, silent strength, calm presence, inner balance, as separate techniques or tricks that we must perform. We do the breathing exercise. We try to be still. We act with composure. The problem with this approach is that if these are merely techniques you are performing, they will remain inauthentic. They may work in low-stakes situations, but they will crumble under real pressure. People can sense the difference between a person who is acting calm and a person who is calm. A performance, no matter how good, lacks the weight and density of true embodiment. It is a hollow imitation of the real thing, and it will not have the gravitational pull of authentic power. The goal cannot be to simply have more tools in your toolbox. The goal must be to become the master craftsman himself. The transformative solution is the final, crucial step of integration. It is the point where the practice ceases to be a practice and becomes your character. It is the shift from consciously doing Stoicism to unconsciously being Stoic. The goal is to embody these principles of quiet, calm, and discipline so deeply that they become your natural, default way of being in the world. You no longer need to remember to be calm in a crisis. Your trained response is calm. You no longer need to force yourself to be disciplined. Your identity is that of a disciplined person. This is when you cease to be the planet trying to exert force, and you become the planet whose very nature is a force. This final stage is not reached through a new technique, but through the one thing that turns all knowledge into wisdom: consistent practice over a long period of time. It is about a lifelong commitment to being the sculptor of your own soul. The actionable step here is simply to continue the work. It is to recommit each day to the daily practices, the mindful pauses, the virtue check-ins, the control of your gaze, the mastery of your impulses. It is the understanding that there is no final destination, only the continuous path of self-mastery. The goal is not to one day be finished, but to find joy and meaning in the daily rhythmic work of shaping your own character. The benefit of this ultimate stage is a life of profound power, peace, and purpose. Your presence alone will become an ordering force for good in the lives of those around you. Your influence will be deep, effortless, and lasting. You will possess an unshakable inner peace that no external event can disturb. You will have achieved the great aim of the Stoic philosophy, eudaimonia, a state of flourishing that comes from living a life of virtue and reason. You will embody quiet and radiate a power that is both immense and gentle. Your final practice is not a one-time task, but a lifelong vow to walk this path with diligence, patience, and courage every single day. You have explored the 7 pillars of commanding respect without saying a word. From the power of silence to the embodiment of your values, this is the Stoic path to developing a presence so powerful it needs no voice. True strength is not heard, it is felt. Thank you for your time and commitment with Stoic Power. If this journey has provided you with value, please support our channel by liking, commenting with your insights, and subscribing for more wisdom on the path to an unshakable life.